Heredity is a word that everyone's familiar with, and we all think we know what it means. But when you really look at it closely, it's actually many different things. I like to think of heredity as what one generation passes on to the next. And that can be genes, it can be culture, it can be an environment, it can be any legacy that the past leaves for the future. The science of genetics is very young. Actually, in 1900, a scientist came up with the name because he and other scientists were discovering that there were these things we call genes that are responsible for heredity. And that sort of changed the way we think about heredity. We just think of heredity as nothing but genes, so that anything that makes you similar to your parents, it must be a gene. But that's not how heredity works. There can be many genes that are involved with one trait, and other traits have nothing to do with genes. They have to do with your culture and your environment in which you'll grow up. So genetics really was revolutionary, but we have to be careful not to pretend that genetics is everything. CRISPR is a revolutionary technology for editing DNA. Basically, what it does is it lets you make molecules that can go into cells and rewrite little pieces of DNA. And scientists have been working on CRISPR just for the past few years, but already they've done tremendous things. They are producing new types of crops, new kinds of livestock using CRISPR, and it's going to have a huge impact on medicine. So people who have inherited diseases like sickle cell anemia are potentially going to be able to get cures for the first time, because doctors will be able to fix these genetic causes of these diseases. So technologies like CRISPR, they don't just let us treat diseases. We can potentially use them on human embryos. So we can change genes in human embryos. If we use in vitro fertilization, those embryos will grow up to be people. Those people will pass down those changes to the next generation. So we have the potential to alter the future of human heredity. Should we? That is a complicated question, but we all have to try to answer it. There may be situations where we will all be better off if we use CRISPR to eliminate terrible fatal diseases. But should we also allow parents to genetically alter their children so that they are more attractive, more intelligent? What do we mean by intelligent? These are tricky things, and if we look to history, you can see that people have ended up doing terrible things in the name of trying to improve humanity and to improve heredity. And we now potentially have the power to do that. And so we need, as a society, to be talking about this and deciding what to do with it.